They say deserts are silent. But in the shifting sands of the Arabian Peninsula, one man heard a whisper and turned it into a thunderous roar. This is the story of a boy from a small oasis town who would one day lead a nation. A man born into royalty, yet shaped by relentless challenges. He would become one of the world's most influential leaders. This is the story of Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. From prince to president, from pilot to powerhouse, from the sands of Al Ain to the corridors of global power. It all starts on March 11, 1961. In the quiet town of Al Ain, in what was then the Trucial States, a boy was born. His father was Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the visionary leader who would soon become the founding father of the United Arab Emirates. But for the young Mohammed, the future wasn't just handed to him. His early life wasn't about palaces, it was about the desert, simple living, and local schools in Al Ain and Abu Dhabi. These experiences forged his character, teaching him humility and determination. He had to learn, train, and prove himself every step of the way. At 18, he was sent to the UK, to the prestigious Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, the same place that trained Winston Churchill and generations of world leaders. This was a turning point. He trained in armor, helicopter flying, tactical maneuvers, and even as a paratrooper. Imagine that contrast. One foot in the ancient traditions of Bedouin life, falconry, and heritage, the other in the high-tech world of modern jets, military strategy, and global geopolitics. From the very beginning, his life was a story of bridging two worlds, heritage and progress, the desert and the sky, local roots, and a global vision. When he returned to the UAE, he didn't take a desk job. He served in the elite Amiri Guard and became a pilot in the UAE Air Force. He was in the cockpit, in the heart of the action. By 1993, he was appointed Chief of Staff of the UAE Armed Forces, and by 2005, he had risen to the rank of Lieutenant General. This wasn't just about collecting titles. Under his direct guidance, the UAE's military underwent a radical transformation. He pushed for advanced training, cutting-edge fighter jets, and sophisticated strategic planning. He helped turn the nation from a regional player into a military force to be reckoned with. While many heirs might wait in the wings, Mohammed stepped into the thick of it early on. He wasn't just in the background, he was on the front line, leading and making decisions. Then his role expanded dramatically. In November 2004, he officially became the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, and soon after, chairman of its executive council. This is where the strategist truly emerged. He took charge of key institutions that would shape the country's destiny. He chaired the UAE Offset Program Bureau, a body designed to bring investment and technology into the country. In 2002, he founded Mubadala Development Company, a revolutionary sovereign wealth fund. The mission was clear: take the immense wealth generated from oil and channel it into a diversified, sustainable future. Under his influence, the UAE started to pivot. It was no longer just about oil and desert landscapes. It began its journey to become a global hub for finance, tourism, education, technology, and even aerospace. The plan was audacious: build a future that wouldn't depend on fossil fuels. He looked at the country's vast oil reserves and saw not an endless supply but a finite resource, a launchpad. He knew this wealth had to be invested wisely, making bold bets on things that seemed like science fiction at the time: missions to Mars, massive renewable energy projects, and complex global diplomacy. Let's talk about the money. While the exact figures are kept private, the financial empire under Abu Dhabi's control is staggering. We're talking about some of the world's largest sovereign wealth funds, with global investments in real estate, tech startups, and major international companies. Mohamed bin Zayed's strategy was to convert the UAE's oil wealth into lasting global influence. He personally oversaw investment vehicles like Mubadala, which were designed not just to make money, but to generate sustainable returns and secure the nation's prosperity long after the last drop of oil is sold. He wasn't just an heir to a fortune, he was the architect of the UAE's future economy. Of course, with massive wealth comes the lifestyle you'd expect: palaces, private jets, and luxury. But the real story isn't just about the opulence, it's about what that wealth enabled: sweeping education reforms, global humanitarian aid, and a powerful push into technological diversification. On May 14, 2022, following the passing of his half-brother, Sheikh Khalifa, Mohamed bin Zayed was unanimously elected President of the UAE and ruler of Abu Dhabi. This transition formalized what many observers had known for years. He was already the nation's de facto leader, the driving force behind its ambitious agenda. Today, he officially oversees one of the wealthiest federations in the world, a country home to tens of millions of expatriates, a magnet for tourists, and a major player in energy, finance, aerospace, and defense. The pilot who trained for combat had become the president, steering a nation that is racing into the future at warp speed. But his leadership isn't just about economics and military might. He has also championed progressive social reforms. He has pushed for modernizing education and healthcare, and has promoted a national policy of tolerance, working to build a society where both men and women have opportunities to thrive. On the world stage, his impact has been just as significant. In 2020, he was a key figure in brokering the historic Abraham Accords, which normalized relations between the UAE and Israel and reshaped the diplomacy of the entire Middle East. Beyond politics, he has launched major humanitarian campaigns, including a global initiative that has been instrumental in the near eradication of polio worldwide. His ambition isn't just for his own country, it's for a more connected and stable world. He understands that in the 21st century, true power lies in being a global partner, not just a regional strongman. Now, no story of great power is without its shadows and complexities. The UAE's rise as the assertive regional actor has included controversial military involvements, such as its role in the conflict in Yemen. International analysts and human rights organizations have also raised concerns about civil liberties within the country. It's a nation built on a system of monarchy and family rule, and there are inherent tensions between maintaining tradition and embracing modernity, between centralized control and personal freedom. For us, this is the compelling contrast, a story of incredible triumphs and progress intertwined with the complex realities of power. So, what does the future look like under his leadership? As we stand today, the UAE is making moves that sound like they're straight out of a sci-fi novel. It's investing billions in artificial intelligence. It successfully sent the Hope probe to Mars. It's building futuristic new cities from scratch and developing vast solar deserts to power its future. The oil wealth of the past is being methodically spun into a future wealth economy. His vision demonstrates a profound truth about modern leadership. It's not just about governing a state. It's about creating an entire ecosystem, an economy, a global brand, and a national identity. He is engineering this for the UAE. The takeaway for all of us is powerful. When you combine a clear vision with resources, strategic action, and perfect timing, you can transform not just your own life, but an entire nation. So, what can we all learn from the story of Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed? That humble beginnings don't have to limit your destiny. That training and relentless preparation are everything, whether you're in the desert, at Sandhurst, or in the president's office. That wealth is only a tool, and its real value comes from how you direct it. He turned oil into investments, into education, and into global partnerships. And that true leadership in our time is about having a bold vision and executing it flawlessly, while navigating the complex shadows that always accompany power. The next time you see the glittering skyline of Abu Dhabi, or hear about the UAE's growing influence on the world stage, remember the man behind it all. The leader who decided his nation would not rest on its laurels, but would invest, diversify, and build for a future beyond imagination. It makes you wonder, what is your future? What empire of ideas, innovation, or impact could you build? If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the world's most fascinating leaders, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video. This is just one of many stories of vision, power, and transformation we have for you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.